everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today is my layer cake dress. What I am going to do is go ahead and just jump right in so we can get right to the final look here. Welcome to all my new subscribers and thank you for all those who continue to tune in from week to week. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so this is my layer cake dress and this is how I am going to kind of approach where I want the different sections to be. First, if you saw my video, I just put up, I did a complete sew along for this dress, and you all know that I wanted to extend that bodice piece down about 3 inches, so I did mark the line where that needs to happen, and I will just separate. What I did was I took my point of reference right below the dart and I put the pieces together so I knew exactly, you know, where I wanted to go. And so it's right below the dart on both pieces. I'll extend piece 1 and piece 2 by 3 inches. As far as the actual pattern, so what I will be doing is actually tracing off piece 5 and the front lower piece, which is piece 4. You can't see it underneath, but this is what I did. View C was too short. That was the version I made, but I extended it by 3 inches. So for this view with the sleeves, I measured it on me, and actually view B is pretty much where I want it to end. So what I have done is lay view B on top of view A, making sure everything is matching. If you can tell, I have the lines matching. And what I have done, because the view 4 or piece 4 that goes underneath the midriff, I want to make sure my back piece is, that section is the same. So hopefully that makes sense. So I just drew a line here, and then I am going to measure. I still haven't quite decided how far down I want the first section to be. It'll probably be where this crease is what I'm thinking, but that's all I'm doing. I'm going to trace off this whole pattern piece for the front and for the back, and then on that trace piece, then I'll mark my sections and what I want to do, because I'll be cutting. The reason I'm tracing this is because I'll be cutting those pieces and I'll be marking them for future projects. So I'll just have it, because this pattern currently is out of print. So I don't want to cut up the main pattern piece, but I only have to trace off these 2 pattern pieces, so no big deal. All right, that's it. That's the direction I am going. My first one. We shall see how it turns out. So those were the plans. Those were the things I was thinking about. And if you saw my video, I think the week before this video, I mentioned that there were some changes I wanted to make. So based on what I shared with you, and I made all of the changes that I needed to make. Remember this, for this particular dress, if you're interested, I did a complete sew along on the dress. So the original dress that I made is right here. So I brought that just to make sure you all remember, this is the one I did the sew along for. So if you're interested, I did the sleeveless version with the ruffle. You can go ahead and check that out. Also on that sew along, I should have, and if I didn't, I'll make sure I do it. There was a comment, because remember I talked about that front area where the inset goes, there being error written in the pattern. It's still not written right. It's just written all confusing. But another person left a comment, interpreted how they read it. So either way how you read it, and I pinned that person's comment to the top of that sew along video, so check that out. But I still finished it the way I showed you in my sew along, the inset here on this new one. So yeah, let me just get into a couple things, because obviously I'm not going to review the pattern because I did all that in the sew along video. So go watch that if you want a full review. I absolutely love this dress pattern. Too bad it's out of print. I mean, this is really good. I actually have plans to do, I really want to do version A. I'll pop up the line drawing real quick. I've done version C, view C for the sew along, and then today is view B, which is my layer cake dress. And I want to do view A, but I also want to do another view B in a special occasion fabric. I was thinking it would be fun to do some kind of, oh, I have ideas. You'll see it, because I was thinking when I want to make it, and I think I want to make it for December. We shall see. I don't know. We shall see. I'll save all that for them. So let me just stick to today. So what did I do? So come to find out, you all know I originally was going to do a different linen. I still did linen. Remember, it was the pink, and then I was going to have the different layers with the different shades of pink in there. So I decided to hold off on that because I just wanted to kind of work through. I had 3 yards of that linen. As a matter of fact, let me grab it. So remember, this was the linen from So Much Fabric that I had received, that I had purchased, and I was going to use this and do some different layers, because you all know I have the different colors, all these different colors in my stash that I was going to do the layers with, right? And so what I decided to do, I said, okay, this is my first one. You all know I'm just trying stuff, doing things, anything I have in my mind, I just want to try it, see how it goes. If I need to tweak it and make changes in the future, at least I know the mistakes I made. You know, remember this dress I'm wearing, this is Know Me, the Corny Rainbow. I want to say it's 2026 or something like that. And I did a full review. Remember, you can't tell, but this one is the one that's color block. That I did some design work on that didn't quite turn out, but that was okay. I still love this dress. And so I, you know, keeping this experience in mind with this dress is, and I have 3 yards of that fabric that I just showed you. And so I decided, okay, I said, I still want to do linen. And so I decided to use the linen, and I don't have much of it left because that was the goal. To use, this was the linen that my good friend Myra Lorraine had sent to me from, so I can't link to it. It's from Heddy's Fabrics out of Las Vegas, and they do not have a website, so sorry, I cannot link it. The solid color, which I have a little over a yard left of, is a linen rayon mix from JoAnn Fabrics. And so I decided to kind of test my idea with these fabrics, because I just want to see the execution of it, and I really want to sew up this fabric I received from Myra, and I only had 2 yards of it, so I knew that, okay, I should be able to do everything that I want in this dress with 2 yards of fabric, and then what I have from JoAnn's. And so didn't quite still work out like that, because I don't have as many layers as I anticipated having. So I'll pop up the picture I had and what my plans were, and I'm gonna look down because I have it here. So I always had and you see it says floral because that's what, you know, the other colors I was using. But anyway, so I always knew that the inset was going to be solid, the waistband midriff piece being a solid, and then the floral for the sleeves and all of that, and then it was going to be floral, solid floral. And then I was thinking maybe of doing a solid, but then I decided that for this dress, because I see that I didn't have as much fabric to work with, that I would just make it maybe just a little longer. It's only about 4 inches longer than my first dress, view C. So based on the amount of fabric, the main fabric that I had. And so the changes that I did make was I did lengthen this front part, because if you saw my video, you know that midriff part was sitting like halfway across my bust. So I measured it and it needed to go down. I lengthened the midriff and the front bodice by 3 inches. That was a little bit too much, and I'll tell you a couple things I forgot to do based on that. I did not, when I was cutting out the sections I wanted for the fabric here, down here at the bottom, the different tiers, after I traced all those pattern pieces, I lined up the bottom of the skirt front and skirt back to make sure the sides would meet, and I just cut those pieces of pattern pieces just so for my own personal, that everything matched up. And you'll see at the time I'm recording this, I haven't taken pictures in this yet, and it's over 100 degrees. I'm sure I'm not going outside. I'll probably take them in the house. You'll see them pop up here on the screen momentarily. And so and I did not want the waist ties on this. I just wanted this just to be. And I did the largest size 18. Let's see. So for fear of running out of fabric, one of the reasons I did run out of fabric sooner than I thought is because, let me just show you this. I forgot that the flounce pattern piece is huge. This is huge. This is deep. Even though I don't think the length on this is, you know, overly long or anything like that, but the pattern piece is something I didn't really take into consideration when I was trying to measure out how far I wanted things to go, and then the different layers. And so yeah, so I didn't necessarily have enough to do what I wanted to do, because the intention was, and let me see if I can pan you down just a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see. The intentions was to maybe have divide this up and have like this section just a little bit shorter, then the solid, then the print, and then solid, and then the print at the bottom. And so because of the way the fabric ended up after I was doing all of that, and I was measuring and remeasuring just to make sure, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna make, to be comfortable, and this is my first one, I just made the sections larger, except for the one at the bottom. It's just a little bit shorter. I do love how it looks. Let me scan you back up. I do love how this looks, and I'll show with you the inside. Now you will see when I do take the picture and video, I'll show you, but this section that I lengthened, probably too much. 2.5 inches would have been better, not 3 full inches, 2.5, because one of the things I did not take into account, I mean, the reason why I say that is because there is just a little bit, it's about 1/2 inch room between where my bust stops and where the top of the midriff starts. So it's about 1/2 inch I can take out, which is gonna be easy for me to do. I will take out 1/2 inch on those pattern pieces. It'll be fine. And it will fix the other issue I end up having. You will notice, let me just grab it. Here at the top, you'll see in the picture, this slightly sits up on my, at the top, slightly sits up on my shoulder, and like it's going to fall off just a little bit. So what I am going to do is, I have these little catchers. What are these called? Bra catchers or something like that. I am going to sew that in up at the top and be able to pin it around my bra strap here, so it doesn't slip, because I do feel like it's gonna slip a little bit. But what I noticed is when I pinched up here at the top, it was about 1/2 inch that I can tell was too much up here at the top, that I could have taken out, which is that 1/2 inch down here. So this shortens, then this will hug perfectly, I believe, at the top with that adjustment. Okay, this is future editing me putting this clip in, what I have done is I have worn the dress. I put the dress on, and I do feel like the shoulders are falling off a little bit too much. And so what I did was pull it up on me about what I think is comfortable. And I'm actually going to unpick the shoulder seams and the facing and take this out. So I'm going to mark this on me and take that out, and that way I don't have to worry about the shoulders falling off. And that was from adding that extra length, which I only needed 2.5 inches, not 3. And so yeah, but this is, I'm taking out quite a bit up here. So yeah, so I will be unpicking this area of the sleeve over here and over here, even though I serged it. So I'll take my time and unpick all of that, because yeah, I didn't like the way it kept feeling like it wanted to fall off. And so that is what I'm gonna do, and it's a relatively easy fix. It's just gonna be me unpicking. So I thought I'd throw that in here while you're watching the video. And so outside of that, the only other thing I was intending on doing, you can't tell, but there is a center seam down the front. I made sure all my seams matched up on the sides. As you can tell, everything on the side matches up. Everything on the side matches up beautifully. And you'll see better in the pictures. But there are center seams down the front and back. That's something else I want to definitely take in consideration. The reason I decided not to do probably the tucks or pleats or gathering, because the intention was to take up the full width of the fabric to make a tier and not cut the pattern piece as it's written, and get rid of the center seams and the back center seam. That was the goal. But I did not do that because, again, I was a little afraid of the fabric and if I was going to run out, and if I just wanted to make sure I measured everything perfectly and that things would line up when I sew everything together. So that's why I did not do it. But as it turns out, you can't really see the seams anyway. But I still absolutely love this. I absolutely love this. Again, I have not, by the time I recorded this, I haven't worn it anywhere yet. The intention is to wear it to church. That's where I want to wear it, which is still perfect. I'll be able to wear this a few times still yet this through December. But let me show you the inside. I did serge everything too, and I just use my pink variegated thread. Oh, you look a little washed out. Let me try to come up a little bit. Okay, so that's the inside. If you see that seam there is a seam on that front facing. I had to add 4 inches because and that's the inside. So remember, the inside is completely clean. Completely clean. Where that midriff section is, very, very nice. Love, love, love. And of course the back facing piece, and I just tacked them in again at the shoulders and at the center back. But the reason there is that that seam here is because that was one pattern piece, is piece number 7, I forgot to lengthen. So when I lengthened the front bodice, because that's the facing piece that goes over the front, and because I lengthened the front bodice, I forgot to lengthen that part of the pattern piece. So I had to go back in and I cut out 3 more inches and just added it on. I didn't recut all of that. I just added another 3 inches and added it on and put it in there. But yes, I really love this dress. I really do love this dress. That's why I want to play with it and make a special occasion dress I have in mind for December. So yeah, that's what that is what I am thinking. I want to do it again, and I do want to do the regular sleeveless version that just has the binding around the edges without the ruffle. But very pretty. You all have to let me know. So it's not as layer cake that I wanted, but if you watch the perfect jacket, she actually just did a video, and before I finished this, I watched it she just did a video on how she does her layer cake dresses and kind of her thought process. And so I'm happy I did watch that before I finished this, because it helped me to really think through, okay, maybe you don't have as much fabric as you thought you did to do with the thing that you wanted to do, but do this instead. And this is absolutely beautiful. I love the way it turned out. So pretty. I was happy to be able to use both of these fabrics together. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That is it. That is my first attempt at a layer cake dress. I definitely, my thinking is a little bit, you know, clearer now, and how I want to do more layers and make things more of a, you know, more layers, more designs, more, you know, different fabric and different stuff like that. And so yeah, I love it. I love it. And I love the tip that Finn, I believe is her name, the Perfect Jacket, mentioned how when you do all the multiple strips, you can sew all those multiple strips together first, not sew on each tier one at a time. For this one, I did sew on the tiers one at a time because it's only, you know, it was just 1, 2, 3, these 3 in the front, and then in the back it was just the 2, right? And so yeah, so I did it that way for this because it's much more simple. But when adding even more tiers, sewing all those strips together first, and then putting everything together as normal. So yeah, that is it, everybody. Stay tuned for Sunday. I will have the selection for September final simplicity pattern pick. I'm super excited. I'm waiting for my fabric, should be in this week and within a day or two. And yeah, Sunday it will be the reveal, and I'm super excited about that as well. So again, thank you for August pick. This was August pick, Simplicity 9325. There is a sew along on my channel. Go check it out if you're interested. I'll make sure it pops up at the end of this video. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comment section below. I greatly appreciate you all for tuning in today. You all have a blessed rest of your week, and we will see you on Sunday. Bye.